Hello everyone! Hi! My name is Alex. Welcome to my channel, welcome to my studio, and welcome to episode 6 of Alex Likes to Knit. This is a knitting video podcast where I talk about everything I've been knitting, what I've been working on, what I've finished, plans, goals, everything knitting really, because I am so obsessed with this craft and I do so much knitting. I needed an outlet. I need to share, and it makes me happy to have this record of just keeping track of my projects and being part of the community. There are a lot of people who share their knitting here on YouTube and on Instagram and stuff like that, and I just wanted to join in, so here I am. Today, we're going to talk about my progress on birthday socks, which I talked about last time and I have made some progress on since then, as well as some summer knits, some tops, which I'm wearing one, as well as some crazy hats that I've been working on because I don't know why I'm into crazy hats right now. So let's get started. First, talking about the birthday socks. I have made some progress since last time. I'm not finished with all of the ones that I wanted to finish last time. I've been getting very distracted by this hat adventure that I've been going on. Anyway, let me show you kind of what I've got. Okay, I can't remember which ones were fully finished last time, but all of these are about to be sent off to my friends. So I wanted to say goodbye, show them off one last time, and once I finish that last sock that I'm working on, I'm gonna send these off. I don't know why I'm so set on doing this like all at one time. Oh, I have one more. Okay, this one definitely wasn't done last time. Okay, this one I think was done last time. These are for my friend Nat, who had a birthday in May. All of these are just vanilla socks. I used scraps for some of the heels, toes, and cuffs. And I'm gonna try to update my Ravelry pages with details about these. I'm trying to keep track of the stitch counts I used for everyone because I'm kind of guesstimating based on their shoe size and like compared to my shoe size and what I think will fit them. So I'm keeping track in case I get feedback from them that they fit or don't, then I can adjust if I want to make each of these people another pair of socks. These are for my friend Nat. I had finished these as well. These are for my friend Corinne. The pair that I'm still working on, I'm not going to grab it. It looks the same. Not the same as these, the same as last time. It's a gray ribbed sock for her fiance Chris, and that's what we're waiting on so that I can send all these out. And I think because it's a ribbed sock, I'm just taking my sweet time. Yeah. Okay, this is a new one from last time. These are for my friend Caroline. So I had this like variegated color with this purple and brown and green, and I thought that'd be really fun to use with this light purple. I had bought this for a specific project but like hardly used any of it, so I wanted to use this as the main color, and then this dark purple is like a commercial sock yarn that I have a ton of because I got it secondhand. So I just thought like these, the variegated again at the toe, I thought that would be kind of fun. I hope that she likes them. Those are for my friend Caroline, and then this pair, oh, I think I was almost done with this pair too. It's a little bit hard to see because it's the black yarn, but it's just a vanilla sock, and I used this yarn for the whole thing. And it's got these neon speckles. I like these a lot. I think I'm going to maybe make some shorties for myself with this color. I started a yarn cozy with this color that I've kind of just gotten started on, but I think that'll be fun just to be able to look at it all the time because it's just a cool, fun color. It's different. And I had quite a bit of it left, even making like the full sock. So I think doing, like after I do the cozy, I should still have enough to use that as a main color for some shorty socks for myself. And maybe I could do some of my brighter scraps for the like heel and toe or something. I think that would be really fun. But yeah, that is the update on the birthday socks. Lots of socks. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is my summer knits. These tops, which I'm so happy with. I finished my camisole number 4. I am so happy with how this came out. I absolutely love it. It's so soft and flowy. The length is just right whenever I put it on. This looks a lot different than most people's do. I think that the pattern might recommend like 0 or negative ease, and I definitely have a good bit of ease with this whenever I put it on, but I really like the shape of it and how it looks on me. I finished it and wore it once, but I felt like it was falling and just like getting too low, especially in the back. So I actually did surgery on it to shorten the straps. I'll have to put details on my Ravelry page about like how much ease this has, how long these straps actually are, because these are really short. Like this is maybe 4 inches, like an 8-inch like strap. And that works for me with like the size and the amount of ease and just my height and everything. So, you know, I don't know. I've worn this a few times now. It definitely feels like very fancy for me. I'm like more of a t-shirt person, which I've said before, but I also still have not blocked this again. You can tell I blocked it whenever I was right here to see how the top was fitting. Down here, it's all wobbly because I never blocked it, but I've worn it twice now. I should block this again. Just silly. I don't know why I put those kinds of things off. But yeah, I love this piece, the camisole number 4. I'm really, really proud of this. This was like a big deal for me. I don't know. I think with the texture and everything, and I wasn't sure how the like the triangle part was gonna work up. Like it felt like hard. Like it was kind of intimidating at first, but it really wasn't difficult. It didn't take that long either. Once I got to the body felt like a little bit of a slog, but really I finished it within like a week or 2. It wasn't a huge time investment. I think that because you're doing a little bit of a pattern stitch, it's just not as mindless. So it felt like it was taking a while. But I'm so happy with this piece. I would definitely make this again. I'm considering making these for my sisters. I'm always thinking about knitting for my sisters because I love them. I really do, and I think that they would really both love a top like this. Probably if I could find some yarn that's easier to care for. This alpaca is like delicate, but maybe with a cotton or like a cotton linen blend or something. I think both of them would really, really like that. So this is kind of on my list of things that I might be knitting them for Christmas. We'll see. Abby and Andy, if you're watching, you have to let me know if you like this piece. My other summer knit is what I'm wearing. It's very like sheer, like more than I thought it was gonna be, but I like it and I feel like it works with like a black sports bra. This is the Tulsta Tee by Rebecca Clow from Creabea, and there are in that pattern a lot of options for modifying it. It's not like a eyelet row pattern. It's a plain raglan with a bunch of options for modifications, and one of the samples had like eyelet rows really similar to this. So I thought that would be fun for summer. It's so hot here. It's been over 100 degrees for weeks at this point, and I wanted that really airy feeling, like kind of like a swimsuit cover up, but also like I'm just gonna wear this out. I've worn it like just with a black sports bra like this, like to a brewery. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. I like the eyelets. I think right now, my only thing with this pattern for me personally is how like boat neck-y this neckline is. And I knew that it would be like that. Like it looks like this in the samples too. It's not bad or like unflattering or anything. It's just a really like feminine like cut that I don't know if it always works for me. It kind of depends on how I'm feeling, like depending on the day. But I do think that it looks nice. I did this with a lot of ease, as always. I think I can't remember what the directions had for the sleeves and everything, but yeah, I made some modifications, and I'll try to make sure that my Ravelry page is really clear about what I did. But I do like this top. I definitely will wear it. It's really soft. The yarn is like a Patton's silk bamboo. It's like a bamboo viscose with silk and cotton or something like that. I'll have to find it. That's on my Ravelry page. But yeah, I think the yarn is great. This is great for summer. I think that I knew going into the pattern that it was going to be kind of feminine, and I'm okay with it. What's funny is too, the camisole number 4 is obviously super feminine. It has like a deep V and everything, but I have been, let me show you all this again. So I've been wearing this one for the most part with a collared like short sleeve linen shirt over it, and that's a look that I really like on me. Also, I'll wear this one to like fancy stuff, so I would wear this one with like a skirt, and I really like that look. Where this one, going to something casual, going to the brewery or something where I would normally wear like a t-shirt and jean shorts, I'll wear this with jean shorts, and then it just feels like so feminine. I don't know. Everyone is funny about how they present, what they like to wear, what kind of shapes and stuff they like to wear, and I am no exception. I am very funny about those kinds of things, which I think is great because I I can make my own clothes. I can really hone in on how I want to present and express myself, and I'm still figuring it out just like everyone else. And I think that that's important to, whenever you make something or purchase something and you wear it, think about how that makes you feel and why, and learn something about yourself in that process. So it was a success, this top, this one. I really do like them, and I don't have any other summer top knits on the needles or in the plans really. I've just been making hats like a crazy person, but here in Texas it's gonna be warm until like December, so I definitely have more time if I do see another summer pattern that I want to make. Really, the thing is, I don't have like a quantity of yarn that would work for another top, and I'm not really interested in buying yarn right now. I really want to work through some of the yarn that I have, which that's definitely part of this hat thing, because all of these hats that I'm making are yarn that I had that I'm kind of wondering, what can I do with it? I'll make a hat. Since we're already talking about hats, let me grab some hats. Okay, so here I have my first 2 attempts at these crazy hats that I was making. I don't know what in my mind made me feel like I needed to knit a super scrappy hat, but look at this. Like, what am I gonna do with this? I was going through my scraps, and with all the really tiny ones I made I made a magic knot ball. Oh my god. Okay. with all the really small yarn coming off of here. With all the really small ones, I made a magic knot ball, and I was just like obsessed with it, and I wanted to do something with it. So I was like, let me start a hat. So I found the basic fingering hat or something, which is just that, a basic fingering weight hat. It's got ribbing and then a stockinette like body of the hat, and then it's supposed to fold up. But I am discovering my gauge is like big, like definitely big. I was like, I'll use the recommended needle size and I'll just go for it. And I knit this so quickly because I was like, the stripes were making me so happy. But this hat is so big. It like, I had it over my bun and everything. Like, this hat is like big. So I was trying to like measure the gauge and kind of figure out what was going on, and I don't know, this was a few weeks ago at this point. I'm trying to figure out like what is going on with my gauge. My gauge is loose. Okay, so I'm trying to think, okay, if I try going down a needle size for most patterns and then do a freaking gauge swatch to see if it's actually gonna work. Like, even for a hat, because if your hat comes out way too big, you're not gonna wear it. So I think that I am going to unravel this and try again, because this is fun. Like, I don't know if I would wear it, but I like it, but I want to wear it. So I think I'm gonna unravel it. Maybe I'll do a muscle burrow too, because the muscle burrow fits me really well. At least now that I figured out my gauge again. So maybe doing a muscle burrow with these crazy colors would be fun. And I have more of my magic knot ball. So this one was too big, so I was like, okay, let me try again. So I made this one. Can you tell it's too small? It's really small. Like, what? This is like folded up and stuck down so it won't unfold, and I mean, I can get it on my head. It's gonna be, yeah. Okay. That's not gonna work with my bun, but yeah. This one's too big, this one's too small. I'm silly. I should have found my gauge and then found a pattern that would work with that gauge. Oh, and this one is magic knot ball held with purple. That's why it looks like this. I think I'm gonna just completely undo and try to redo these, because I'm just really excited about these crazy hats right now, but these just, I'm not gonna do anything with them. I have a bucket for like finished objects, so like half finished socks, stuff I use for like art purposes, cast knits that I'm not really gonna use in this bucket, and I just throw these in the bucket. I don't want them to be in the bucket. I kind of want them to be on my head or on someone else's head. So I'm gonna unravel these, but let me show you some progress that I've made in the crazy hat department. One, oh, let me go get that musselburg that I did recently. It came out really good. Okay, I'm ridiculous. It's right here. Okay, this is not a crazy hat. This is a gray hat. This one actually fits. I'm not gonna put it on right now. I'll have to get a photo or something of me wearing it, because I'm doing silly stuff trying to get these on over my bun. This one fits. This one is made with leftover alpaca yarn from the camisole number 4. So this is that same fair alpaca yarn, and it doesn't fold up. It just is one layer. So 2 layers because it's a muscle burrow, right? So you can make the tube. You fold it in on itself. And it's super soft. It's a little bit fuzzy. Yeah. And I'm really happy with it. So I actually like measured my gauge. I knitted this is a fingering weight yarn. I knitted this with a size 1.5 needle. And I really like the gauge that this gave me for a hat. 1.5, okay? The fingering weight hat that I did with the magic knot ball, I was doing that on a size 3. and it's so loose, like it's not warm. So I really need to keep that in mind and use like a 1.5, maybe a 2 on my hat projects whenever I'm using fingering weight yarn. This was a good exercise of trying, like, let me actually see what gauge I'm getting. Let me actually try it on. Let me actually measure it. Crazy how much that helps with making stuff fit. Anyway, this is like part of the crazy hat party, even though it's not a crazy hat because this is a successful hat. So now what I want to do is combine the crazy hats with a successful hat to make some successful crazy hats. Let me show you my progress on that. Okay. This is what we have now. Okay. This is a crazy hat, right? This yarn is beautiful. I think this one is from Up North Yarns. This colorway is called Northern Lights, which I totally see it. I really like it. It does kind of say Halloween to me, but I don't mind. I think it's fun. This is not something that I'm going to wear all the time because I'm kind of a black and gray girly. But I think for Halloween or just for fun things, I think I would wear this. And I am considering gifting this to someone, but I'm trying to think if I know anyone else who would actually wear this. I'm thinking about that because for a lot of these hats that I'm making, I have so much leftover yarn and I'm making all these hats. I think I want to keep some of them to give to people, but I'm trying to think about matching up my yarn and like the hat styles with different people who might actually wear them. So it's kind of a work in progress in my brain. I don't want to like say which ones I'm giving or to who or anything, in case I have to mix them around a little bit. But this is my Northern Lights hat. The pattern that I'm using is called the Back to Basics hat that I made a successful one a long time ago. So I made a little gauge swatch with this yarn to see if I was getting the same gauge as I had. Wait, that's not true. That's not the pattern that I'm using. That's the pattern I'm using for this other one. Okay. The pattern that I'm using for this one is, I cannot remember the name of it, but it's a Jared Flood Pearl Soho pattern for a ribbed hat. And I made a gauge swatch to see what my gauge was at, and my gauge was big. Even though I think I went down and I think that it said to use a size 4 needle. I'm using a size 3 needle and my gauge was still too big. So I think that I am following the directions for the child size for the amount of stitches that I casted on, but I really think it's enough. Like, this is definitely going to stretch to fit over my head. Like usually if I'm knitting on a 16-inch circular and it's like not stretched at all, like I'm good to go. Like that's got more stretch than I can even stretch it off of this needle with. So this is a good size for me, and I went down a needle size and I'm knitting the child size. So like that's what I'm saying, like what is up with my gauge, but we're going with it. And this one is fun and looking really good. I have more details about this yarn and what pattern I'm using on my Ravelry. Keep that in mind if you're, interested in looking more into these hats that I'm making. And then this one, I was thinking that this would be a gift, but now I love it so much I might need to keep it. Look how fun this marl is. I am using these 2 yarns together. This one is a Cascade Heritage DK, I think is what it is. It's a superwash merino nylon blend that I had gotten for some DK socks, and I had a lot left over. And this one is Miss Babs Kira Sport. It's 100% superwash wool. So this is like Sport plus DK. and I figured I would try it on a worsted weight pattern. I went down a needle size, maybe 2. I'm doing these on a size 6 needle, and I got a good gauge for this pattern, or at least to match the hat that I had made for this pattern before. This is the Back to Basics hat by While They Dream. And I had, I've made a hat with this before in like an acrylic yarn, like whenever I first started knitting, that fits and like looks pretty good. So I'm kind of replicating that in like a nicer yarn. I'm gonna make it a little bit taller than that hat that I made, so it folds up more. That one has just a little bit of a fold. But yeah, I mean, this marl is so pretty. So I'm thinking that like this would be a really nice gift. I'll have to weigh it and like think about if I would have enough to make 2 hats like this, because I would totally make another one. I started this like 2 days ago. So it's a super quick project. And I have a more like similar yarn to this, so I think that I can make more marled hats like for gifts and stuff for people. And it's such a warm, cozy, like, I just think that'd be really cute. Like, this is a cute hat. It's going to be. Let me show you some of the other yarn that I think I can use to make these marled hats. Yarn for hats. Show y'all what we have in here. So that that one's a sport plus a DK, right? And I have these 2 yarns. These are the same bases. This one is the Heritage DK, and this one is Miss Babs Kyra Sport, because I also bought this one for a pair of DK socks and didn't use all of it. And this one came with the other Miss Babs Kyra yarn. And I think these would also make a really pretty marl to make a yellow one. So I think that's next on my list. Like, if that one comes out really good, this would be a really good one. And then I also have a lot of other combinations that I could do. I have a lot more left over from Camisole number 4 and that Muscle Brow. That's a fingering weight yarn. I got it secondhand, so I got quite a bit of it, and I really like it. So I'm thinking about what maybe I could hold this with. I have this one, which is, this is a Tenderfoot sock yarn, but this is a really heavy sock yarn. And this one is a fingering weight yarn, but it's really fluffy. So maybe holding these together to make a different kind of gray. I might need to go up a needle size or something to get this to work. Or maybe hold 2 strands of this and 1 strand of this, or something like that, to make a gray one. I also have a navy, this is a re-up, like a recycled polyester yarn, like maybe that one and this one would be a nice marl. I also have quite a bit of Wool of the Andes Sport. I have 3 of these balls because I made a sweater out of this and purchased extra. So this is a sport, so maybe holding this with this one, because I have a few of these. I have a lot of this yarn, like making a different kind of yellow one. I also have more of this black yarn that I used for this t-shirt because I got this yarn secondhand. So I'm thinking maybe black with gray, black with the extra blue from that hat, and this one I have more of this too. So many options, and it's making me really happy. So I kind of want to see how many I can make and use that as a gift item for Christmas, instead of doing socks for people, because I've made so many people socks at this point, and I think for winter hats would be cute. I don't know, that just seems fun to me, and that's kind of what I'm leaning towards. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, it's a little chaotic here with all of my knitting. I also decided today, really, I had kind of made up my mind like a few days ago, but I really wanted to create an Instagram account just for knitting because I see so much knitting on Instagram and I always want to post about it, but I feel nervous and I don't want to post a ton about my knitting because most of the people who follow me like aren't knitters, because it's my personal account, really, slash like my art or business account. So I post about my painting and I post about maybe a vacation or something here and there, but I don't know, I was like, the people who follow me aren't interested in seeing a bunch of details about my knitting, so I thought it would be fun to make like a Finsta. That's what Caroline has been calling it, like a no pressure, I'm just gonna post all my projects and finished objects and everything on here just for fun, and I'm only gonna follow knitting people, and it's just no pressure. That's what I'm telling myself, and if I don't like it and don't want to post on it, then I'm gonna stop, and it's not that big of a deal. So if you would like to follow my brand new knitting Instagram, it is Alex Likes to Knit on Instagram, and I'll link it below if you want to check it out. It's super silly, it's brand new, I have like 0 followers. But yeah, and if it doesn't, I don't know, we'll see. It's just a little experiment, it's literally just for fun, we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's the knitting news. I hear my dog barking, so I am going to go. But thank you guys so much for joining me. This has been super fun, and I'll see y'all in the next one.